Hello, everybody. Yes, music in theory, game volume. Yeah. I think that should be it. Yeah. Right. Whoops. Welcome back to Elm Creek. Let me shimmy around with my chair. Right. It has been a week. I forgot what the heck we were doing here. I think we just finished harvest. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, and this was oats. And this was canola. Yeah. So that means... Oh, right, the oats went straight into the... Bonjour, monsieur. Hi, TTK. Right, the oats are already in the flour mill. Good. Yeah, it goes quite alright. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing good too. First need to unfold the bailer. Right, so now if we are actually planning to put some animals on this map too, fair enough. Yeah, but also, as I was about to say, planning on... There is a plan to put animals on this map. Because the final goal is to make cake, which needs cows. Which in turn needs straw. The question is, how quickly do we start with cows? Yes. Exactly, beefcake. Hey, Streelin. Yeah, the big question arises is, do we start with cows? Or do we actually start with sheep? And make a fuck ton of money with clothing? To jumpstart the... Hey, Zhorts! Yeah, I can start with one shoe. That's not gonna be that efficient money-wise, but we can start with one shoe. And after... I don't even know how quickly they reproduce, but at some time we then actually have 2 sheep. And after the same amount of time we then have 4 sheep. And then 8. And then 16. Yeah, but sheep are nice and easy to handle because they just need grass and that's it. And I don't think they lose efficiency through feeding them grass instead of hay. Oh yeah, Zhorts, I did fire it up as a multiplayer, so if you at some point feel like joining, you can, but if not, get some rest. That's perfectly perfectly valid too, obviously. That is a perfectly valid thing. Ooh. Oh no! Ah! I have one stupid bale on the back. There we go. Yeah, let's hope it's nothing serious, and I wish you all the best. God damn it, kids don't drive and text and drive. That's never gonna work out well. Yeah, but yeah, let's hope it's nothing serious. Just a stomach bug, and it's gonna pass soon. But making these large bales really doesn't produce many. Although the round bales are even larger. The round bales hold 11k, I think. And these are 8.5, 9, something like that. But what we will have to do soon, TM, is at least sell some of the flour we're having. Because there's already 20,000 liters sitting in the mill waiting to be picked off. And I think the furthest field over there is probably the best one for the animal farm. Yeah, I brought you a beautiful flower bouquet. Phew. It's great, isn't it? It's 3 different kinds of flowers too. I mean, I wouldn't go so far as calling it a thoughtful gift, but yes, there might actually be people who would be actually appreciative of getting a, a bunch of different flower bags. Although, to be honest, I never understood why it's called flower, because it has nothing to do with flowers, and it isn't even spelled even remotely. English is a weird language. Maybe. I'm actually not sure what the French word for it is. Wait, why am I doing this? This is completely stupid. This... Come on, last bale fell off. Thank you. I can't fill up another bale. I might as well stop wasting time here. Yeah, so it's the French. It is the French fault. Right, now bale collector wagon. Yeah, well now it is. But I guess the French had fulfilled their goal. They confused the English with words to spell wrong, and now they just call it something different. Maybe. Maybe I would be speaking French then. I mean, yeah, probably would. Yeah. Yeah, it is quite ironic, isn't it? Right, where do I sell the straw? At the animal dealer. Okay. Oh god, the ditch! I know, this is the animal pickup. Yeah, he is tipping right. Yeah, 8,000 bucks. Not bad. Oh, no. Our fancy word combinations are just still super logic. Yeah, I was sure there was some. I was under the impression too that there were some Russian troops at Waterloo. Maybe just some random regiment, not officially. Wellington's army 68k, United Kingdom 25 British, 6 Kings. German legions, Netherlands 17k, Hanover 11k, Brunswick, Nassau, and 50k Prussians. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, exactly. Sounds very British to me. Yeah. Blaming random other people. Right. Why can't you be in the line I have set? I was thinking making this into a grass field. Hold on, so then I don't have to mulch this. This will just be cultivated and then grass put in. Fuck man, this tractor is way too fast. Yeah, it's definitely a nyong tractor. For sure. Quickly making a headland here. Yeah, sometimes this entire mix thing is just 90% of the time it's just completely stupid. It's just, yes, YouTube, I watched a Let's Play of CK3. Of course I want a mix of that. What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have never clicked on one, but it's just doesn't make any sense. Sure, if you have just listened to music, yeah. Obviously, then that's that is a very valid thing to mix stuff. Then, but anything not music is just stupid. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a Let's Play. It's maybe the Linus Tech Tips video. Having a mix of that doesn't make any sense either. I mean, I have to confess, I have not watched that many pottery videos, but yeah, that's an edge case enough, I guess. That I would say yes, that is a valid mix then. But and I must say, I'm really looking forward to that eco playthrough. I have some grand plans in my head. Not sure if we can pull them off. I mean, I'm okay with ABBA. It's not something that's on my daily playlist. Let's put it that way. But I don't have to leave the room screaming when ABBA is on, so... Oh yeah, that's very true, and we have to still check for the XP multiplayer. I think we had 0.03 multiplayer. Yeah, there's a little bit different energy to the music I usually listen to, indeed. Oh, holy fuck, 3? I'm running point 3, and I already have 129 XP stars. Yeah, that's already the case with point 3, more or less. I think I had to... I mean, I consumed one, or I filled one regular large stockpile with mortar and mortared stone. And I'm already level 7 in masonry. So, yeah, that's way too much. Even for a single player playthrough. Yeah, but I was thinking if we had 0.03, I'm not sure how much, how floaty the float valves can be in that value. But I was thinking 0.035 or something. Just a tad more than we had, but not much. Just to lessen the grind a little bit. At least the grind for better recipes and whatnot. Yeah, I'm so ashamed. You can see how red I'm already getting. Definitely. Yeah, but I have handled enough real-world floating point numbers that I know that, yeah, even though it is technically a float because it has decimal digits, it doesn't mean that you can just fill it up with things after the decimal point. Because in many cases it doesn't make sense. For example, for the consumption of a car. It doesn't make sense to have it like 3 or 4 digits after the decimal point. For monetary values, yeah, okay, if you have to do some calculation with currencies and whatnot, yeah, sure. Having 3 or even 5 decimal digits, then it's fine. Oh, good. That was too floaty. I mean, it's funny that the UI automatically converted it into scientific, even though the game can't understand scientific. Yeah, and of what kind of mods were you thinking? Talk to me, man! You can at least talk about it in a rough manner. No, not in a rough manner, in a rough... quick, rough brainstorm? Rough manner would be me calling you asshole all the time, I think. Or constantly trying to punch you in the face or something. I mean, yeah, it might be that the server UI just used a different language, but then again, that would be a very odd decision to use a different language for the server UI. Ah, okay, yeah. But to be honest, I wouldn't expect to be C++ and C# be similar enough to at least oh god, it's Java. Yeah, then it's just 100% RNG. Fuck Java. Well, fuck JavaScript even more. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, well, like I said before, in my during my apprenticeship, they tried to teach us Java. But yeah, the teacher had just failed in a normal job and decided to become teacher for apprentices, which turned out to be about as great as you can imagine. I mean, the guy failed to even teach us the very basics. Yeah, the declaring everything is quite annoying. And yes, I know PHP doesn't need it, but I tend to do at least most variables, just to make sure there's no fuckery going on. At least initializing them. Not fully declaring, because PHP doesn't exactly need that. Yeah, and I mean it's just good practice, right? I mean it's PHP can yeah, exactly. PHP can deal with a lot of dynamic shit. But for things like, I don't know, arrays or something, especially if you're having multiple runs for the same script, because you're running through it in a while loop, because you're parsing a file or something. It's just good practice initializing everything you need. It's not exactly declaring, because that's obviously something else again, but just helps to reduce false positives and whatnot. Oops. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, if I'm making a class, then yeah, sure, all the attributes are getting properly declared with the var what is expected to be in there. Yeah, I mean, in a way, there is compile on load for PHP stuff. Oof. Yeah, that sounds bad. I did not know that. But again, best practice, just use a semicolon. Yeah, exactly. There's an error in line 5823, and then you have to look which line it actually is. Hey, Appa. Yeah, no singing required. Luckily, the Christmas party is really just going out for dinner. Although it is a themed dinner, from what I remember, it's Frank Sinatra something. I mean, I'm not gonna dress up. I'm just gonna go in this shirt. I mean, I'm gonna wear different pants because right now I'm wearing basically sweatpants. I mean, if I were drinking, there's a good chance that there might some singing might occur. But I have to drive home again, 40 kilometers, so no drinking. So no singing. Oh, and hi, Meep. Oh, at one Christmas party I got completely shit-faced. Oh, God, no sweaters for me at all. Because for me, the name is the name of the game. It's just thinking about wearing a sweater makes me, well, sweat. And yeah, TTK, if you want, we can talk mods if for Eco if you want. I'm on Discord anyway. I can pop over into the other channel, since you can't directly join me. Or if you want, you can type too. Not sure what you prefer. I mean, I don't mind. We can talk some Eco. It's not too complicated doing here. Yeah, Eco's happening. If you want to join me, you're perfectly welcome. We still haven't a concrete date figured out. We are thinking about a couple of quality of life mods. Yes. So nothing too disruptive, even though you haven't even played the normal one. Let me. Was? Yeah. Hey, TTK. How's it going, good sir?
Oh, you know, superbly, as always. I'd say I can't complain, but you guys have all heard me complain pretty much non-stop since you've known me, so...
Yeah.
That's a lie. Not only can I complain, I'm fucking good at it.
Yeah, I mean, you're British, right?
Well, precisely. It's one of the first things we're taught in school. Other countries, they have like maybe an alphabet thing going across a wall somewhere to teach children the alphabet. We've got a moaning chart. Anyway, so mods.
Yeah. What did you have in mind?
Well, something to deal with the tailings. That one...
Yeah.
I mean, it's an intended mechanic that tailings are a problem you have to deal with, but there's one that compresses them into like a third of the volume, but keeping the same amount of problem. That just makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's probably the most important one, because the volume of tailings you're producing is just insane.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be some way you could compress these.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
purify it into horrible, really nasty purified garbage.
Yeah, that sounds definitely like a really good thing to deal with, because I mean, as long as they just keep their toxicity, basically.
Yeah, we don't want to cheat.
No, exactly. And I mean, it's the mountains of tailings we had inside the mountain was just
Yeah, that's a problem. They were basically the same volume as the stone that we'd cut out.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, it didn't help that
we've taken some volume from this stuff, turned it into metal.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help that we processed all the gold and copper in the iron mine too. So we had all those tailings there too. But
sure, that was a problem. There's lots of it that sound like they'd be very interesting for us, having played it before, but we don't want to go for them because it would change the vanilla experience. There's one here called Hot Wheels. Cool. It adds scooters and push bikes.
okay.
As early game vehicles.
Okay.
Which could be cool. We'll have to test, because most of these things, it seems like they only have to be installed server-side.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
That would be great, so that we don't have to get everyone to download mods, because that's always a problem. There's some others that I saw, but this website has a horrible layout. There's one that adds road signs, which would be cool, but then you click on it, it says, this is just a base, that there'll be actual signs added later. Oh, well, cool.
Oh, great. Yeah, perfect.
Thanks for that, then.
And there's actually, I think the vanilla signs have been improved quite a bit.
Oh, cool. Because it was handy having some kind of signs once we had a road network going.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you have to actually... I mean, if they are large enough to be read while you're driving past them, then it's good. If not, then they're no use at all, really.
Yeah. Ooh, animal husbandry.
That could be cool, although that kinda gets rid of the hunting role, right? More or less. Because if you have a... Plus it's another entire job, basically, which...
Yeah,
with just having 4, maybe 5 people playing, that's maybe not the best thing to do, adding another job.
Oh yeah, waste incineration was one of the ones that I looked at that might be handy.
Although, usually... Oops, crap. Usually there isn't that much waste, is there? I think that's mainly when you drop shit.
Yeah, we certainly had some waste, but not enough for it to become a problem.
Yeah, and that was mostly just because we were too lazy to put it into storage somewhere, and it was technically still usable stuff like the branches or you get from cutting down trees and whatnot.
Yeah. Or old tools that we'd already upgraded from.
Yeah.
So there's some excellent. Apparently, these are all. I'm guessing made by one German guy. Because there's just various different individual food recipes, like spaghetti bolognese.
Okay, yeah, I mean, more
The
food
descriptions are all in
options.
German.
More food options can be interesting, although, yeah, vanilla
Yeah.
has already added quite a bunch of new foods.
Yeah. And it'll be more interesting because we've got the tastes option.
Yeah, exactly, and then that's the question, if that mod actually works well with a taste thing or not.
Precisely.
So that might just be... I mean, if it's working with the current version, it should probably play with it. But
Yeah, some of these mods I don't think actually do work with the latest version, which is not great.
yeah, I mean today or yesterday was a new. I mean today I downloaded the patch, but there was a new version right now with a couple of bug fixes.
If it's bug fixes, that probably won't make a difference to the mods working.
No, probably not. Depending on how the mods work, if there's a trigger on the version the mod is made for, then they won't work.
Yeah. From what I've seen in people reporting bugs, there are things where there's been a major update and all they had to do was move some files and it worked. So
okay. Yeah.
it sounds like it's not overly fussy, which is good.
Yeah, that's good. And if especially if the mods are just server based, that makes it so much easier, because I have not once looked at how complicated it would be to mod the game, because it is not workshop compatible from what I remember.
No, but the server thing, I believe, does have a built-in interface if you're using the Windows thing for using this eco.mod.io thing that I'm on.
Okay.
So it can sort of install mods from that, which makes me think that it probably is server-side, because if they bothered to do that for the server, they'd surely do that for the client as well, if it was necessary.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Discord link could be interesting. Connect the Eco server to Discord for cross-posting of chat messages and stuff.
Okay. Can be interesting, can be quite spammy.
Yeah.
Plus
Well, I've actually already set up the LGSM's Discord thing. So if the server crashes, in theory, it will send a message to Discord so that I'll know about it.
Okay. Yeah, but that's then a direct... it's a PM then, right?
No, it's set up to use a webhook to post to the Eco channel in the Petri Discord at the moment.
Okay, so you didn't... I was... because I was thinking that we might need Aconite then for permissions.
Apparently not for a webhook, which seems wrong, but okay. Yes, mate, that's exactly what will happen. Here's a mod that adds more variety of signs. That could be handy.
Okay, yeah, that could be interesting. Depending on how well the signs look. I mean, I have a full masonry thing, and there's 3 or 4 different kind of signs. They are mostly meant for storefronts. There's a hanging sign and whatnot, so I'm
hoping they haven't fixed that bug that allowed us to have like a big floating sausage sign up in the air. Because, you know,
Yeah, that was quite funny, yeah.
bug or not, it was handy. Get your sausage here. Yeah, we made some good use of bugs in that community playthrough.
Yeah.
The giant floating tower of water wheels, the floating sausage song, all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah, I mean they have improved the water physics quite a bit, so it is still a bit odd. I mean, you might have seen that on the Discord stream I did, where I was shoveling sand on the beachfront of the basically ocean, and well, if I keep digging, I won't get wet feet anymore.
Very nice.
So the water doesn't really flow, so it doesn't have full physics, but it won't have the open polygons anymore. And they have a barge, if I remember correctly. They introduced the barge.
Ooh.
So instead of bridges, you can have a barge.
Nice.
Although that's probably a super late game.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
So we will probably have bridges long before we make use of a barge.
Yeah.
Although I haven't looked at it. I mean, yeah, the mechanics. You will need the engineering role for that, and that is definitely not early game. That's somewhere mid game, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we were very pleased when we first got the engineer thing, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we could make roads and stuff.
Although I think the biggest problem we just had was the metallurgy research papers, because we couldn't find any ores.
True, yes, that did slow us down.
That slowed us down massively. So I think
there's one here.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say there's a mod here that I'd be really excited about if there were, the latest comment about it is that it doesn't work with the latest patch.
Mm.
It's the conveyor belt mod. Oh, yeah. Some automation was definitely lacking from it. It would have been nice to have a little bit of automation of some kind. The description just says, release one of the conveyor belt mod who gives you, well, conveyor belt. Okay. What does a conveyor belt do? We guessed it gave us a conveyor belt, but you need to give us more information than just what's already in the title.
Yeah, but some kind of conveyor belt could be interesting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the busy work that the game has is shifting shit around.
Yeah.
All the tailings and whatnot.
It's going to be only like a semi-open server, this, isn't it? So it's all going to be people that we know.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, I'm not sure
there's
how
admin
many
tools of some kind that would be handy if it's going to be open, but if it's not, then.
Yeah, I don't think we will need heavy admin tools. No. Because it's going to mostly be us two, Alpanapa, then Seven-Aided and his wife.
Yes, so no need for admin stuff.
So it's a very limited number. I mean, obviously, like I said before, if there's someone regularly in chat who has proven to be at least worthy in chat,
if we're inviting people we already know, they're not dickheads.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least they're the kind of dickhead that has the same ideas as us, and therefore will be fine.
Yeah, exactly. So if you think you are cool in chat, then there's a good chat. You are very welcome. You may join. If you prove to be a cunt, then yeah, you get kicked from the server, and
oh shit, I'm not allowed on the server. Oh yes, here's one of the things that I definitely thought was worth adding: a seed barrel. It works kind of like the silo does, but just for seeds, and it's not massive.
Wait, there was a silo?
Yeah, we got one eventually. This massive storage that we use mostly for seeds.
I cannot remember that.
It allowed you to store bigger stacks of the seeds per slot.
Okay.
Was it silos? I don't know. But anyway, I think we want it because seed storage was a problem before.
Hi, Aconite.
Hey, Aconite.
Yeah, seed storage might be nice, especially since you get a lot of acorns and whatnot when you are knocking down trees. And storage for the farmer might be nice.
Yeah. Storage was always a bit of, like, the stockpiles were great and everything, but storage for sort of general loose items was always a little bit limiting.
Yeah, and what the game still is missing is defining input and output stockpile, sadly. And I don't think there's a mod for that. So you still have to shuffle them around and hope for the best. Which is can be a bit painful, especially if you're having... Oops. Missed the start of the line, there we go. If you're having giant stockpiles and many of them for one industry branch, for example, then it's getting a bit cumbersome.
Yeah. Well, there's an updated version of this conveyor belts thing. I'm going to see if we can install it on the server. Well, if I can install it on the server and test it now. Because then we test if mods only have to be installed on the server, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily have to do farming sim.
I think for this testing part it makes sense for you to keep doing something that people can actually watch and will be interesting, because there'll be a lot of stuff not working.
Yeah,
might not be so fun to watch.
That's true too.
But, yeah, if I test the conveyor belts, it might have some kind of... This is why it needs information more than it adds conveyor belt. Because if we can do some kind of sorting and selectively pull items out and move them to another stockpile, that could be very handy for overcoming the input versus output.
Oh yeah, that would be that would be so sweet.
Yes, Aconite. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be joining us in the Eco playthrough, Aconite? You're happy to just play one game that isn't your normal style of thing for 30 days constantly, right?
Oh, you will? Nice.
Excellent.
Excellent. So then we have 6 players. So we are actually talking about maybe actually getting shit done then.
Ooh. Well, we've got a looting expert on board, so...
Yeah.
That's going to go nicely.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, it's going to be TTK, myself, Alpanappa here, and then Saphinated and his wife. Although I'm not sure if Seth has finally already convinced his Yulu to actually join. Because, well, they still have a small... alright, yeah, that's makes it a bit quicker. Thank you, Alpa.
Not quick enough, we'll just call you Pa.
Or Al. Hey, Al.
Problem with Al is it always looks like AI. because fonts are stupid.
Yeah, because the typeface is a bit odd in the chat. Yeah, or can be odd. You can just change it if you want, but at least I'm quite sure that Frankerface allows for. Well, I missed a bit. Hold on. Allows for changing the typeface.
Good plan, Aconite. Solid logic.
Yeah, but at the moment we are discussing, talking about getting some different mods, and mostly just quality of life. So not because Alpa and Seth and his wife have not played at all. So we have 3 newbie players. So we wouldn't want to just completely change up the game, because I mean, vanilla eco is already quite nice. It's just a
the default playstyle is definitely good.
Yeah, exactly. There's just
a bit
some
ashamed to deny someone that.
Some quality of life that's not changing too much. I mean, so far we have come to the conclusion that probably a storage mod, maybe some conveyor belts, and volume compression for tailings, which is fine.
Yeah.
Not too disruptive.
We can reduce some of the bits about the default experience that were just annoying, then that's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's gonna be a better experience than vanilla. Improve the vanilla experience, then all the better, I guess.
Set my SSH keys so that I can easily log in as the eco server user. Nice fun.
Yeah.
Don't even actually know its password, I just set a random password. So that ain't gonna work. Actually, I think I've set SSH up to not allow password logins anyway, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's not really needed, right? I mean, you have easy access to the server. It's not that it's hard to access the admin things from the console. So.
Yeah, I can switch to the eco server user since I'm an admin on the server. So, but I want to use SCP to transfer files that I've downloaded for months.
Yeah, coming to think of it, the conveyor belts might be engineering, so maybe not available. Other than I guess you can probably just give you like 200 skill points and be done with it.
Yeah, certainly for this testing thing, I'm going to have to give myself the skills and resources that I shouldn't have at this point in the server's status, because it's like maybe day 2. But, you saw the roof of my house. Clearly I can't build a conveyor belt.
Yeah, but if the conveyor belt allows for some kind of filtering, that would be nice. But even if not, then it's still a large improvement.
Even if you can just chain together some things so that you've got one giant storage, that would be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Automatically bring ore from your mine all the way up to the surface without having to do the cheaty transfer to a different stockpile trick that we were doing.
Yeah.
Not that we did anything cheaty.
No, I mean it's completely inside of the game mechanic, so it's not even a massive
on them.
it's not even an exploit. It's how it's meant to be done. So.
Well,
this field is weird. I'm having these weird texture bugs already again. Yeah, and it's going stubble, tillage, and seedbed. It's not sure what is going on with this field. But
it's
at least
trying its best, okay.
Yeah, at least no random crops popping up. Because that was the first time we had this field. There was some random sugar beet in the middle of the field. Because, yeah, reasons, I guess. Yeah, this field appears to be just buggy.
I can actually use the home and end keys.
Wait, what do those do?
It's emulating the wrong kind of home and end keys at the moment. So when I'm on the command line, it just
okay.
bleeps at me and enters a random character because it tried to do some escape sequence it wasn't meant to.
Oh, you've gone big, but wow.
Made the mistake at work before of admitting to having some knowledge of Linux and PHP. So then I got stuck dealing with the server that was running WordPress. And as you are no doubt aware, WordPress is the worst PHP in existence. The main thing that gives PHP a bad name. Yeah, no, I can None of this would be necessary if servers could just offer you downloads, like a link to the file, not a link to a page that will redirect you to the file in a few seconds. Just give me something I can wget, plain and simple. Come on.
That would be nice. Ah, crap. I fucked it up. Okay. Wanted to turn right, turn left. Perfect.
Similar. The word turn was right. Is that not enough for you? No pleasing people these days, aren't you?
Yeah, but yeah, mod handling could be improved in a lot of games.
Yeah.
especially for the clients, because there's a lot of things. For example, in FarmSim here, from what I understand, some mods that are already vetted by giants are just instantly downloaded. You just have to confirm it.
Nice.
But I have a couple on here. For example, the auto sealing mod I'm using basically all the time. That's not vetted yet, so that has to be downloaded from a different mod hub, basically. And that I would have to send out because reasons, I guess. And it would be nice if if a client connected, it would just go, here's the mods. Here's a zip file, because the mods are stored in zip file anyway. And just push the zip file to the client. These mods will be installed if you join this server. And then just push out the mods.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Arma 3 almost does it very nicely. Almost.
Yeah.
Because the server browser can look at the mods and then sort of get Steam to find those mods for the client and download them. The problem is getting the mods onto a dedicated server in the first place. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah, see, that's where FarmSim does it actually quite well, because for the dedicated server, I mean, this is not dedicated server at the moment. I'm the host in this case. But for dedicated server, you just upload the zip file and then it's there.
Nice.
Some are just available for download, and the stuff you don't, that's not. Well, yeah, the vetted stuff is just available. You can just activate it, but you can just upload zip files, and then they are available on the server. Well, that kinda depends on the. That is when you do the Nitrado hosting. Their web front page, front end, back end, front end, I guess.
Middle end.
Yeah. Allows for that. I'm not sure if that's if you get the server somewhere else. Maybe.
Yeah. I spent a few hours. Yeah, upload mods. One thing that doesn't help is that all mods assume that you're using Windows, and therefore your file system is case insensitive. But on the Linux version, it's case sensitive, and it expects every single file to be lowercase.
Yeah.
So I had to set up a script to not only transfer the updated mods from Steam, which was enough of a pain, but also put them into a virtual case-insensitive file system on Linux.
Oh boy.
So that they could be stored there with the proper names, so that I can rsync them across to update without having to worry about the lowercase thing, but still be accessible with what. Fucking hell. And that's just to get the files there. To get it to actually load them, you have to put them all into a command line option in a fucking semicolon separated /escaped list.
Oh god. So yeah, even though Arma
there is a Linux version, but
so Arma is just a vessel for mods, and it's still a pain in the ass to run mods. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, the server didn't crash, but
I mean, it's a start, right?
yeah, it didn't object to the mods so badly that it didn't do anything. But on the other hand, I don't know if it actually installed the mod. So there's that.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe it only didn't crash because I put it in the wrong place. It doesn't know it exists.
I mean, that would be a perfectly valid reason to not crash.
Yeah. Oh, you need to load that mod? Yeah, nah, get fucked, mate. We crash in now, boy. At least the Linux GSM thing does make updating things a lot easier. I just run eco server update, and it does all the Steam command bullshit for me.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. And I could even tell it what branch it should be on as well, which is handy.
Wait, is there beta branches?
I don't know if there's any for this game, but certainly for Project Zomboid, we have a specified branch.
Okay. I was about to say. I mean, there might actually backwards compatibility branches for Eco. That's quite possible. Because the devs are sometimes a little bit slow. Because I mean, they had a relatively large update in December, but the one before was in September, I think.
I'm just glad they're still updating it.
But yeah. I mean, they are obviously still working on it, which is good, which is very good.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows if they will ever actually feature complete it, or if they have to completely rewrite their engine. Because I know they want to make the wet tailings to be actually a liquid.
Makes sense, yeah.
But from what I understand, they are still having trouble with liquids. So at the moment you can't pump water into a lake, basically. Or pump out a place.
Oh, have they still not implemented that?
I don't think so, no. And water isn't actually flowing. I don't think. Although I haven't really tried if it's flowing or not. Might have to cut down a tree at some point next to the river and see if it falls down, if it floats downstream. But from what I understand, it's probably not. So if you need a waterfall for your water wheel, you will have to find a one that was made by the World Creation, I think.
Fair enough, I guess.
Although I haven't tried it yet. I mean, it doesn't look like the water is flowing fully. Like I said, I've taken off the first top layer of the sand on the beach, and you would think that the water would start flowing, but then again, that would potentially lower the water level across the server.
First thing it said while connecting to the server was downloading mods.
That's good.
That's a good start.
That's a very good start.
Plus, I remember how to do any kind of admin things in order to get the stuff I'd need to test that there's mod works, but you know.
I mean, if neither server nor client crashed, that's a good start. That's a very good start.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it did send me some kind of mod and nothing has crashed is...
It's the first step.
Yeah,
baby
it's
steps.
good.
Baby steps.
But it might only be doing that because the mod isn't doing anything.
True. But if that is if that is currently the only mod you have installed, that is at least promising.
Yes. Oh, how do I even make myself an admin?
Okay, let's skip this song because I hear nothing, basically.
Good reason.
I mean, I could hear the song when I tapped out of the game because I didn't have the of the tractor anymore, but
This always annoys me. Type in the who am I command to find out the ID it needs to make me an admin. And it says it doesn't know what that command is, and then suggests that I might have meant /manage who am I. Well, if you know that that is a command, that why would you not just run it for me anyway? Yeah.
I mean, nice of it to suggest that you might have just accidentally run the wrong command.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's useless anyway. It tells me my Steam ID, which is great, but there's no way of copying it out of the chat box. I'm not going to type that by hand.
Oh yeah, right. You needed
Find my
the
Steam
weird
ID anyway.
Steam ID thing for something. We needed that too. Can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it's easy enough to get. You go to steamidfinder.com and type in the username. But the annoying thing is I could use my username if I was already an admin.
But you aren't. Yeah.
No.
No, I haven't. I've never played Ark. No, for Eco there was. I'm quite sure we needed the Steam ID for the Eco server before, but
Probably for exactly this problem.
probably.
It'd either be that or a whitelist, most likely.
That is possible too. Yeah, that we made it whitelisted, so it's not. I mean, it's over a year ago. No, it's almost 2 years, right?
Yeah, so long ago that I barely remember the game.
Yeah. I think that was pre-pandemic, or just in the beginning of the pandemic or something.
I think it must have been pre-pandemic, yeah. I can probably find out, because I've still got the old server files there, so the last modified date will probably tell us.
Yeah, we have talked about finishing it in having to commit for 30 days. I don't think we will need 30 days this time. Because let's be honest,
Not been pre-code.
a lot of the time we spent was looking for iron in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Effectively. That was like 2 or 3 days minimum.
It's like late 2020 was when we last used the server. Whether or not that's when we logged on, or if I just left the server running for months, I don't know. Yeah,
So,
it
yeah,
shouldn't take the full 30 days this time, certainly.
Yeah, I'm expecting more towards 20, 25 days. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because we already know at least the basics, or at least some of us know the basics, so we can get the new players up to speed.
Yeah.
Plus, if we might have more people playing. I mean, part of why it took so long was that we, for quite some time, played with just 3 people.
Yeah, it expects more than 3.
Yeah, I mean it works, but you need a higher higher XP modifier then. But even then, it's a lot of busy work then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically how it works. You have to pick multiple jobs. That's what it's gonna come to. Because I don't think we have enough people to fulfill even each base role. Let alone the different subcategories. For example, in cooking, there's baking, there's milling, there's advanced cooking, I think, and the campfire cooking. So, I mean, it makes sense to have one person have all the cooking skills, at least when it's coming to making meals.
Yeah.
And the milling part is probably still part of the cooking job. Hunting, not so much. Butchering, again, technically is. But that's that's a subcategory in hunting, so you would need to have hunting for that too. And
Might be worth us doing a little bit of pre-planning to see who does what skills before we start this time.
Yes. I was. I mean, you can take what you want. I mean, I would prefer if. I mean, I can do the cooking because I already know what it entails, and it is not really a full-time job, if you will.
Yeah, I suppose it just gets done in batches.
Exactly. So you don't have to run around a lot. For example, for carpentry, you will have to be running around a lot and felling trees and carting the wood back, and then doing something with the wood, then get out, get more wood, and so on. Same with masonry, really. So the cooking itself is a side job. It's a side gig. And then I was thinking of taking on the carpentry, although that will lose its validity somewhere in the mid game, I believe. I can, if I remember correctly, because at some point there won't be. Everybody has each. All the workstations have been crafted, and all the furniture has been crafted at some point. Everybody has a max level home.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But yeah, I was planning on having before the actual server start, having a sit together session where we can talk about the different jobs and general plans, because we can have to think about how we want to do the housing, for example, because now it is possible to have basically an apartment building.
Nice.
Although I'm not sure how well that works. From what I understand, it is diminishing returns for the more parties live in the same house. We will have to look into that, how bad that is. But that would be, for example, an interesting thing to have one large footprint house, basically a skyscraper, and everybody gets an apartment in there. There can be coffee and cake if you provide for yourself. So yeah, that is an option. Then I was thinking about having one central library where we put actual bookshelves for the different skill books, and have a second level where there's just a stockpile for the different shit, but it's enclosed in walls so it doesn't look shit, and have the research table then in the floor basement. Yes, good job, PP. You do words good. On the ground level, that's the word. Because I don't think we will actually need the city hall, right? We had one in our first playthrough, but it wasn't really necessary.
Yeah, I doubt we'll need it. Ooh, that's the command I wanted. /skills all. Now I have everything. And about half an hour of notifications to go through.
Congratulations, you unlocked everything. New recipe, this, new recipe, that. But yeah, in that pre-session we will have to figure out who takes which job. It will come to the point where everybody will have to do some mining. That's basically a given.
Yeah.
Because the industry is extremely resource hungry. Unless we find a mod that allows for slightly better conversion rates, but that already starts to be feeling cheaty.
Yeah. There definitely are mods that could help us out there, but
Yeah.
I don't think we want that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we want to keep it as vanilla as possible and just have basically a vanilla plus game with some quality of life stuff. Although mining can be fun, but you will have to do a lot of mining, as in a lot of mining.
Yeah. One thing that is possible is we can add a Steam loader as a mod. So you get a little sort of front loader thing slightly earlier in the progression.
Oh yeah,
the vehicles did become very valuable.
That sounds good. Because the cool industry stuff that allows you to perform mining quickly, like the excavator or the skid loader, the skid steer, they are so late in the game that they are both basically useless at that point. I felt like. I mean, the basic car is already, that is relatively early, so I think that's as a hauler still very valid. And I think there's a better elevator now, where you can actually get the steam car on top.
Ooh, nice.
So you can actually make more workable mines, if you will, and just don't have to use the stupid handcart. Which, I mean, in the beginning, the elevator is relatively late too, if I remember the base one. That came relatively late, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, mining can be very enjoyable. But like I said, that is the one job that feels the most grindy, I think. Just because you have to do so much mining. I mean, we excavated for the iron mine. It's hard to say, but I think that was about 150 cubic cubes. So 150 deep and a footprint of 100 to 150 in each direction. And that was just the iron. And then there's the copper too, and the gold. Although the gold wasn't that much needed, I do believe. But iron and copper, especially iron, because you need it obviously for steel. And for that, I think we needed some kind of flux material, basically. If you want to use the term that Dwarf Fortress uses. Oh yeah, repair for 69. Nice.
Well, I've got good news. Conveyor belts work.
Okay.
I don't see a way to filter them at the moment. It's just taking all items out of a storage thing. It's better than nothing, though.
I was about to say that that actually sounds really good.
Is there a way to make it go up? Because that would be very handy. Problem is, I don't know what items the mod has added. I guessed at conveyor belt, and I was right. But it might have added conveyor sorter or all kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, basically Factorio in 3D, although that's basically Satisfactory, right?
Yeah. Let's see if I can see something in the mod files.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the one item.
Many 40 by 14 very large stockpiles, and several of them. Yeah.
I don't bother opening Visual Studio just because it's a C# file. The text editor would have been fine. Okay, so the conveyor belts are very basic. Better than nothing. There are other storage-related mods as well, so it might be worth having a look through them and seeing if any of them do some kind of nice sorting type things.
Yeah.
Anytime I have a game like this, I always want some kind of automation, like Minecraft mod packs do, you know.
Yeah. It would be nice, but it's not super necessary. It's a nice thing to have, for sure.
Yeah.
But I want grass. Ah. But you have the conveyor belts. Where in the tech tree are they? How early are they available?
Not very. I think they're built in the assembly line, so they're kind of late game.
Oof. Yeah, that's very late game.
Yeah. Which would be great if they did more than just move items blindly.
I mean, it kind of depends on how the mods are made. Maybe we can change it where it's made.
Oh yeah, it should be possible to modify that.
Because having that a little bit earlier would be nice, I think. Because the assembly lines are endgame, really.
Yeah. A bit disappointing that it can only move horizontally as well. There's no slopes. It'd still be handy for the mining stuff, because you could just have what we had before, like a chain of small stockpiles while mining out in different directions, but they could automatically all flow into the middle.
Yeah, and then from there use the magic.
Yeah.
Magic handover. Yeah.
Nice thing is, it is just uncompiled code, so I can make any modifications to it that we want to.
I mean, we might have to have a look at what resources are needed, because if you just move it a little bit down the tech tree, or up the tech tree, depending on which way, probably down if it's a tree, and yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't don't need resources that that require assembly lines too, or something.
Yeah, which at the moment it requires 1 iron gear and 1 corrugated steel.
Ooh, yeah, corrugated steel is relatively late, I think.
But, we can change to what we think would be suitable.
I mean, the cloth making has no real use, right?
Yeah, apart from the windmills, I guess.
Yeah, but so conveyor belts have belts on them. So
yes.
my thinking is having, I mean,
I like
gears.
your thought.
Yeah, sure. There has to be some
Gears,
mechanism
yeah.
in there, and then cloth or leather.
Yes.
Which would technically make it available super early too.
Yeah.
Because those two resources are very early game. I mean, cloth is...
The 3D model just shows rollers. A whole load of rollers.
Okay.
And rollers could be made of almost anything.
Yeah, true. So and
They could even be wood.
Yeah, I was about to say, then there could be wood. So we could technically make a copy of the mod, have one very early one that transfers very slowly or something, and have it out of the earliest kind of gear and Hoon logs.
Yeah.
And then a later one that is a bit faster, that uses the next tier of gear and iron bars or something. I'm not sure what kind of iron stuff we have in the game. I think that it's if there's any...
It's like you could make iron axles or something, couldn't you? Because I had to make 1,000 of those for doing vehicles.
Yeah, and that's somewhere in the mid game.
Yeah, some kind of lathe would be about the right point to introduce whatever it is that the upgraded ones.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the lathe and the press were
kind of mid-game.
Relatively mid-game.
Yeah, because you needed them before you got the first vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
And around the time of the first vehicle would be a good time to upgrade things.
Yeah.
Well, we've got time, so I might look into this.
I'm not sure how well that. I mean, does it visually transport the items, or how does it work?
Well, basically they act as a storage component.
Okay.
Like a single block stockpile. And every few ticks, they take an item from the thing at the back and push it forward.
Okay.
So the stuff doesn't run on top of the rollers. The whole block acts as though it's a stockpile, so it kind of goes into the block in a kind of ugly way.
I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, it wouldn't matter too much if we changed. So basically, to change the speed at which they run would basically be the polling time for the... So we have the basic one requests every... I don't know how quick the ticks work. Every 100 ticks, and the faster one then every 50 or so.
Yeah, I'll start looking into... Because what would be quite nice is if we got some kind of extra functionality with the upgrade rather than just going faster. Like, once we can upgrade to the metal ones, I'll make a metal one that can move things up instead of sideways. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Make it a lift block rather than a conveyor, essentially. Because it would be fair that you'd need slightly more complicated technology to lift things rather than just roll them along a bed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, granted, that kind of mod somewhat goes past the vanilla experience, but
So no conveyors at all. Just, yeah. I think these modifications, if we're happy with any kind of conveyor, it's not like we're hugely cheating ourselves, especially since it doesn't do any sorting, just transfers shit.
yeah.
Ooh, one thing I should test is, does it actually put stuff into a stockpile? Yeah. Sure does. And by default it is quite slow. Which is good, because it would start destroying server performance if it was too quick.
Oh yeah. That is definitely the case, yes. Right, and for anybody who's actually watching the stream, I'm putting grass in this field because this will turn into animal housing area thingy-bob. And it just looks weird when there's a field underneath. So I'm planting grass, so it looks nice. Will probably still get painted over at some point. But that is the idea.
These stockpiles, you can dump your shovel onto them.
Oh?
That could be very handy.
Yeah, especially since there's a lot of sand needed at some point for the glass making. If I remember correctly. I mean, you don't technically need the glass for much, but
we dug out half the desert by the end of the playthrough.
yeah, I thought the desert was just dirt, right? It turns into dirt, sadly, for some reason.
Yeah, fair point. But it was half a desert's worth of sand from where we were finding sand.
Yeah, I think we just dug up all the beaches around.
Yeah. There is a mod which lets you break dirt down into its components of clay, sand, and whatever else it decided.
Okay, I mean that's...
I'd rather there was just a mod that made the desert have sand in it.
yeah, although then I think it would turn into... I mean, you would have to change all the desert vegetation into growing on sand.
Yeah.
Because they... I think they only grow because it's technically just a different texture for dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a swamp.
It's for the game to do that, not for it to have to be a mod.
Yeah.
They've removed all the Christmas stuff.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Which, you know, does make sense, but still. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean it was nice to look at having the elk with the sugar cane
Yeah.
antlers and the Christmas trees. But yeah, I was expecting that, which is part of the reason why I said we better start towards end of January. Because I expected them to take that, patch that out again. And apparently they did. It's not in the patch
They
notes.
sure did.
But yeah, it's still good to see that the dev is still active. Well, I think it's 2 or 3 people working on the game.
Yeah. Ooh, looks like this might already be able to do slopes. This is why you need documentation, guys. Come on. By looking at the code, I can see that if it tries the front and finds nothing, it then tries the front top and front bottom. Front bottom.
No. Okay, so it by default has slopes. Just that doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Sure doesn't look like it. But still, we can make an upgrade that also checks directly above and below.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how many tiles above and below it searches by default.
By default, it's only looking 1 tile, which
Okay.
is fair. So you have to have the continuous belt.
Yeah.
Slopes work.
Nice, nice. You know, I'm actually getting really excited for the eco playthrough.
Yeah.
At some point, I wasn't too sure if it's a good idea or not, but
Yeah. We certainly did. Yeah, well, I certainly burned out on it a bit by the end of that second playthrough.
yeah,
I not be bothered anymore. But that was partially because...
yeah, that's what was 2 playthroughs back to back. That was just
Yeah.
that was just bound. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Ooh.
Casually mounting the rails of the bridge. But yeah, that was bound to happen. That we get burned out on that like hell.
Yeah.
With basically.
And the bickering was making me just...
Yeah, and 6 weeks
anyway.
playing the same game non-stop, because you have to play more or less non-stop. That was...
Yeah, it was all...
And yeah, I mean, the second session was at least towards the end. Yeah, no, sure, that's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. Can I load from here? Yes. Start filling. Yeah, the last playthrough towards the end was better. Once we had figured out that the bickering isn't gonna work for anybody, and the general population. I mean, in the beginning it was laggy as fuck too, simply because there were so many people on that server.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of problems.
The server was just
great.
Completely not appropriately sized for the amount of players that actually joined.
Yeah. Should not be a problem this time.
No, I don't think so, yeah. And from what I understand, the performance in general has been improved too. I mean, I had really no actual problems playing on my own, and I think a lot what we experienced, if I remember correctly, was basically a server lag, and based off of that, caching problems.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it might actually help that I now actually have a more or less up-to-date PC, which I didn't have when we last played. Even then, my PC was already at least 5 years old.
Yeah.
And streaming it on top sure didn't help.
Yeah, you're asking quite a lot of it there.
Well, hey, Trago. And yeah, exactly. The biggest problem that arose in that playthrough really was that some people were trying to make money. Which, yeah. I think I guess that is part of the reason why the devs included the option for currency. To show people that unbridled capitalism will just completely destroy it.
Yeah.
Because...
I mean, good teaching tool for children.
Yeah, and
this is a problem.
Yeah. And they have, basically the devs have in mind giving this the game as a teaching tool. Well, that is at least one of the things they want to achieve with the game. Teaching basically classes about the trials and tribulations, I think, would be the word. Of a modern word.
Interesting. It's interesting how, as a group, we all did quite well because we were just sharing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you need this? Sure, I'll make that. Cool.
Yeah, make sure to drop me off some resources and then go on your merry way.
I'm short-sighted to assume that would work in real life the same way it does in eco. It's like, yeah.
No, and that's I mean that's really the lesson to be learned, right?
Yeah.
That a lot of people think in a game as they think in the real world, and decided to run everything as hardcore capitalism, and yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I suppose the big takeaway is that a lot of these alternative systems can work as long as there's not cunts in charge.
Pretty much.
There's always cunts in charge.
Yep. And yeah, I mean that is the goal of the game, right? Working together as a group to not die by asteroid strike. That's the general idea, right?
Yeah. and preferably not destroy the planet in other ways while you're doing it.
Exactly.
Although it seems to be very hard to actually achieve.
Yeah. Even with that many people, we didn't destroy the ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, it can be tweaked to make it easier to fail that way, I guess. There's so many settings to tweak, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that is part of basically the main idea of the game.
Yeah.
Make it so that you can, as a group, manage to defeat the asteroid.
Ideal.
I would like to. Yeah, exactly, and that was what we will be running a mod that reduces the amount of or the volume of tailings, so we don't have to take those giant. We will still have a lot of waste material that has to be handled for sure. Yeah. But I mean, we were running like Zhorts said earlier, 4x4 or even 5x5 area with a very large stockpiles that are 14x14 themselves in the playthrough we did. And yeah, exactly. And the mod we will be running reduces it by 3, the volume.
Yeah. But it only concentrates it rather than letting you have a third of the amount of pollution.
Yeah. Which is...
Because we're not cheaters, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we are but
a little
not really.
Well, I mean, yeah. But also no.
Yeah, so Trigal, if you want to join, you are perfectly welcome, obviously. The more people we have, the less doubling up as mining people will have to do. As weird as that sounds. Or doubling up with jobs in general, really.
I have found where to change the recipe and how I could therefore add new recipes for slightly different versions.
I mean, if it were to work actually in the same mod, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I can just modify the mod.
Yeah, I mean, you could just make a copy and make a second mod out of it, basically.
Yeah.
If you can't add a second recipe, so to say, for the improved version.
Looks like I can add as many as I want inside the same file.
Then it's perfect. I mean, it doesn't even have to look different. It would help if the item on the ground would get a different label.
Yeah, I'll have a different label, but it's going to have to look the same because I have no idea how to do 3D models for this shit. Well, the model I can do. But, yeah, I don't use Unity.
I mean, Unity is basically C#.
Yeah, the C# bit is fine. The problem is the Unity 3D file, which has some kind of compiled Unity asset in it. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, technically, you wouldn't even need a 3D model. You would just need to change the texture.
True, but to do that, I'd have to change the model asset to point to a different texture.
Yeah,
It's all
and I would
compiled
say
into a single annoying binary.
I would refer you to Quill 18 tutorial about that, but I am not sure if he has ever done anything with proper 3D models. I think most of his Lord and Dare stuff was usually some kind of 2D stuff.
There's undoubtedly an easy tutorial to follow, just a case of have the right version of Unity and
probably,
export a thing from it. But on the other hand, fuck it. I'll live.
As long as the label is states it's a different item, that's perfectly fine. I mean, we will have to see how the server performance is impacted if we do long conveyors, because from what I understand, how I understood it, it's each conveyor block you place will toggle.
Yeah, it periodically checks if there's anything behind it.
So long conveyor belts might completely fuck up the server performance, but I guess we will see.
Yeah, I'm going to check if there's any optimization I can do. As far as I can see, it stores its orientation. No, it doesn't even cache that. Yeah, so if I get it to at least cache the position it's checking, so it doesn't have to keep on trying to find the... Yeah, basically at the moment it's like it knows which way it's facing, and then every single time it updates itself, it checks if it has to work out what behind it means, find the blocks that are behind it.
Yeah, see if the block behind it is actually something it can do with anything. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm going to be changing stuff anyway, I might reduce the stuff that it has to do each time it updates, at least.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on how complicated it is, might actually be worth it for making it triggerable, so to say. So if detected, I mean, the blocks will at some point have to do a general update and see if something changed. But for example, if the block knows there is nothing behind it, so it doesn't have to pull from behind.
Yeah.
By itself, so it doesn't have to check every how many ticks, but make it so that a neighboring block can initiate the pull, so to say.
Yeah. Make it sort of more push-based than pull-based. So you're not
Exactly. It will have to check if something is to pull periodically. I'm quite sure. Just based on the fact that at some point there is a chance that things. Oh wait, I can't. I really can't use the little pink tractor to pull that trailer again. It kind of works, but not really. That would increase the server performance quite dramatically, but there's always a chance that there's that the block behind it is changed to a stock player, basically.
Yeah. I suppose, yeah, it only needs to periodically check if we changed it to a push-based thing. It would only need to poll the contents of the container behind it if that container is not a conveyor. Because if it's a conveyor, then it'll be told if there's something in there.
Yeah.
If it's normal storage, it'll have to check.
And hi, Hassan. And yeah, we kind of
have to... That's a very good point.
Have to kind of rein it in. if that's all that what we're just thinking about is easily done in, say, 5 or 10 minutes, then it's worth doing. If it
what we'll do is I'll get it working to the extent that we can just use it as is.
Yeah.
You know, just modify it so we've got the earlier recipe and such. And then if that is too laggy still, we won't use it. But if I do manage to update it to be done in a less laggy way, then brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's turning out, I mean, if you after 10 minutes haven't figured out how to do it, that's probably the point in time where you should stop. Maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah. Looks like it may already do this to an extent. It has both a pull from back function and a push front.
Ooh.
So it has to be able to push things into a receiving stockpile.
Oh yeah, true, yeah, of course, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's possible that it already does ignore pulling from conveyors. Yeah. Would be great.
Oh yeah, that would be perfect. Because then that would be my biggest concern for the server performance.
Yeah.
Right,
How many gone for stability? There's a lot of null checks in here. Because I suppose at any point during its update you could remove a block.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it has to check often, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure it doesn't just implode and crash the server just because somebody has accidentally removed a block.
Yeah, I'd certainly rather it did a lot of checking and was slightly slower than crashed things.
Hmm. Right, and what else do I have? Honey's on a trailer. Honey. Yeah, okay, honey is at Johnson's, it has the worst price, but this trailer is full and this trailer is heavy. The little pink tractor would have never pulled this. Even the big horse has struggles.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's 10,000 liters of strawberries in here. And I sure hope this trailer doesn't start fishtailing at some point, because this thing is so much heavier than the tractor.
I don't want no teenage queen! I don't want no teenage queen! I just want my M14! I just want my M14!
Rasastrophe just subscribed. What will we call our baby? Hippie? Kleiner als 3.
Yeah, less than 3. Yeah, thank you for the resub, Raz, and hello, Raz. And I don't know, I'd go for Jeff is probably the best idea for calling the baby.
Hi, Raz.
Shiny.
Yeah, sorry about that, Raz. There's no avoiding me. We've been talking about mods for the eco playthrough we're going to do with people soon.
18,000? That wasn't all that good a load, I guess.
Considering how heavy it was.
Yep, the very same. You don't extra drive, kids.
Ooh.
The very same as yes. I mean, if you want to join, feel free.
Yeah, you definitely would have won that fight. Although the court case might have been a struggle.
In reality, yes. In the game, no. Because the cars are unmovable objects.
Ah, nice.
So they behave like a moving...
Even if you end up in orbit.
Yeah, more or less.
Bomb space program.
Yeah, it's all good, Raz. It's all good. I just thought I might extend the invitation just to make sure.
A shame, because we could do with Raz his secretarial expertise. What a thoroughly expected response.
Yep.
The other reason it's a shame is because at the end of the playthrough I could thank everyone, including the server, and not Raz. You can tell me to fuck off again. What do you even do, Raz? It's fun knowing someone long enough that you know all the stories of times that they've been very annoyed at something. You can use that against them. Because that's what being a good friend is all about.
Yes. Definitely. Almost tipped the trailer. Again, at the same place I tipped it last time.
You should still be holding a bit of a grudge, Raz.
But it would appear that the flour is a lot heavier than all the strawberries and whatnot. Ah!
Yeah, I guess that's not a surprise.
Oh, God. Ah.
Oh, Jesus.
See, that's what I mean with no, you don't win the fight with a car.
Thing plowed through you like you weren't even there. Because according to the way it's simulated, you weren't there.
Yeah.
All that was there was a path. Oh, a full-on accident. Nice work.
Yeah,
Rex.
perfect. Yeah, but luckily this tractor is heavy enough to ride that trailer again with the magic how the physics work in this game. And I use the word physics very lightly.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't do when I used the smaller tractor last time.
They seem to have improved the physics engine over the last version of the game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's harder to anger it by the look of things.
Yes, definitely.
Last one would go into a full-on tantrum just for looking at it funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Calm down, game. It's okay.
How much flour is in here? Okay, I think I can get the rest in here too. Well, I could if I could get the trailer's arse end in the right spot. There we go. I mean, I'm not a native speaker, and even I know what that means. Right, bread goes to the farmer's market too. Are you heading out, Appa? Yeah, thank you for joining. And have a great continued time zone and enjoy your nap. Yeah, and if you having about the same amount of nap time Raz just had, then at that point I will be long gone. Yeah. Have a great weekend. Yeah, I mean, I've done that too, Raz. It's sometimes it's just, yeah, I hear the alarm, I ignore the alarm. It's very loud, but I won't get up. And bam, 2.5 to 3 hour nap. But on the other hand, that means that you really needed the sleep.
It should shut its pants and tell me there's a network now. It was fine, all I had to do was press play, but calm down, Twitch.
Brum, brum, brum. Right, so next point on the agenda. Probably taking up a good chunk of money as a credit, as a loan, and get at least one cheap place. Although, no. First, getting grass cutting equipment. Mowers.
Farming machinery looks terrifying.
Wait, what can this machine do? Why does this mower cost 150,000 money? Can it make coffee or something?
Yeah, it turns grass into coffee.
I mean, 12.3 meters. Yeah, that's not bad. The putting area is just 10 meters, but holy shit. I guess the coon stuff will do.
I like the way they have a bale in there to prop things up at a sexy angle.
Yeah, it's great, eh? Yeah,
Well,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
work for that one, but you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure which mod is fucking with it, but yeah. Right, and we kinda need at least one windrower. Maybe not a toy one with 3.4 meters. Yeah, I guess this one. Right, let's place the weight exactly here.
Yeah, looks like the right place, right?
Yeah, it's perfect, right? It's in the yard.
Perfectuology.
Right, let's see, can we do anything funky with the coon mower? I don't think so. I don't think that has a... Okay. Hey, Paulus. So I guess I can quickly do one round here. Lower, turn on. Lower, turn...
No, Nico won't let me give myself 1,000 of a block anymore.
In how far? Right? 1,000?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously can't hold 1,000 of a block.
No, but with the admin commands, it used to let you just do that anyway, even though you can't.
Ah, okay.
Maybe there's a force option or something.
Drop that there. Yeah, TTK is fiddling around a bit with the eco server.
Yeah. Just trying to get to the point where I can test the actual construction of these things. So I need some kind of workshop that can have the workbenches and stuff in.
Yeah, that needs at least a tier 1, right?
Yeah.
Or even tier 2. I think.
Given myself composite lumber, so we should be good on that.
Oh yeah, that's tier 3?
I think so, yeah. Too hungry to do that.
I mean, yeah, Paulus, for you too. You are obviously a valued member of the Patriots community. And you're perfectly welcome to join the eco server too, if you want. Would be a good time, because we are not 100% vanilla, but we have a couple of new players too. So you wouldn't... I mean, I don't think you would feel alone, but...
Well, maybe not.
But yeah, Aganet already said he will join. Maybe later, but he will join. And that's a cool thing that what devs have implemented. There apparently is a distribution hub now, where you can put things for new players that join, so they don't have to run around and collect tools or something, but you can just set it up so that they get one set of the needed tools. I mean, the stock tools, the stone tools, you come spawn with them by default. But should we at that point have progressed to metal tools, you don't have to run around and look for the smith who might not be online, and yeah, so that way you can just easily just distribute the needed tool level, so to say. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, we have talked about it a couple of times before. Eco is definitely a commitment.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a 30-day commitment, because I don't think we will need 30 days. But yeah. And effectively, the more people we have join, the quicker it will go, really.
True.
Yeah, 30 hours is almost granted, yes. Although I can't... Well, I'm not in Eco, so I can't see how many hours I've played. I think it's about the 150-hour mark or something. So I've played it obviously quite a lot, but it's not as bad as you would think it could be.
Yeah, certainly be worse.
When we say for 30-day commitment, it's obviously you should be online each day for like an hour or two.
There's a strange exhaustion mechanic to stop some players from streaming ahead because they've played more than other people.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not
I don't
sure
know
if you
use
want...
it, but it exists.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really more for the really big servers.
Yeah.
They have like 15, 20 or more people playing. For those servers, it's probably a necessity. I mean, for those people too, really. Because what will they do when they have I don't know, masonry at level 7, but nobody needs anything masonry stuff related.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in this group will will rush away.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem.
Okay, that's cool. Happy to have you. Well, I actually made small bales. Okay. Those bales look tiny. Like, really tiny compared to the large ones. So yeah, we still haven't don't have a defined date yet, but so basically half the size, right? This is the large bale, and these are the small ones. I mean, they are still large, 15 kilos each, but the large one is 1.1 tons. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of grass just compressed into a very small area. Wrong button. I wanted to go here and here. Construction, MMOs, shoop. 25 or I think you might go for the large one. Okay, it needs access from the back too. Okay.
I've pressed something in Eco that's hidden all of the UI and I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I have done that before and I can't remember. Okay, so the ground over here.
Thanks, Raz.
The ground over here isn't as flat as I had hoped. Shit. Right, so these cost 97. Okay.
Well, of course, what I pressed was Alt and Z. That's what hides the UI. Yeah, thanks, Raz. Why Alt Z?
Well, that really sounds more like a fat finger action, eh?
Well, it certainly was in this case, yeah.
And it's probably usually a combination that's not pressed that often, effectively.
I guess. They haven't implemented it very well, because the Z key, even when you're pressing it with Alt, still brings up the skills page.
Hmm.
You can't see it when it's hiding the UI, but you sure can see it when you're showing it again.
I mean, for me, that's not even remotely a problem, because my Z key is, well, where your Y key is.
True, that would be difficult to press by mistake. They are, of course, right next to each other on a QWERTY layout.
Yeah. Okay, it didn't disturb the ground too badly. I'm happy about that. So that worked out quite nicely. Very good, very good. Very good. So I think this is the...
Good.
What? Yeah, no, well, what? No. Yeah, I'm very sure where the where the Y and the Z key. I know Y and Z are exchanged on the German key layout.
Weird.
So I guess a little bit more money is needed because you need emeralds. So I do believe Bobby sheep will already produce wool.
Does it make sense that the early game version of conveyor belts coincides with carts? So it's like basic lowest level engineering.
As in the push cart.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It seems like a fair thing to have to do.
I mean, you kind of get rid of the necessity for carts then, right? Potentially. And
The carts will still be mostly useful for going out and gathering stuff. And I guess you could build conveyors to do that.
Yeah, true. I
That'd be
guess
insane.
if we made the conveyors a little bit more expensive, then they aren't really an alternative for that kind of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess a very early version Yeah.
Just trying to figure out what crafting table to make it require, essentially. And last time we played, the Wainwright table wasn't used for many things.
True.
So that
I
would
think
make
just
sense.
basically just the road stomper, right?
And wheels, I think.
Oh yeah, true. But the
Makes
wheels
sense.
weren't used for anything.
Yeah. And making round things for transporting is kind of what a Wainwright does. So
yeah.
cool. So the Wainwright's job is going to include making conveyors. Until we get to fancy mechanical ones, then it'll be using the lathe and other things to make various components, I'm sure.
Yeah, that sounds good. Right, do I own a front loader? I still have a telehandler fork. Guess that can be sold, since the telehandler is gone long gone. Okay, but we have the wheel loader. Long bomb? What? Does the wheel loader have a bale spike? Kinda. What? That's very odd, Paulus. Have you broken PayPal again? Yeah. It's a fucking Iron Maiden. Okay, let's see how this bale loader works. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, honey pellet isn't full yet. Right, so the way I believe this thing works is approach from here in a manner like this. Maybe not. Well, probably not for these large bales then. Because for the smaller bales, I think this would work.
I'm gonna head off and see if I can sort out this mod stuff.
Yeah, thank you for joining. And yeah, I won't be doing that much longer anyway. I mean, it's already half five, and at about 5 I have to finish up anyway. So yeah, have a good one.
I'll still be in chat, but you know.
Yeah, and yeah, but of course, thank you already for putting up with our shenanigans.
Well, you know, it's a constant struggle, but one does what one can.
Yeah. So yeah, see you soon, I guess. There he is. Right, so we have a couple of soup. Many soup. One soup, many soup. They have some food. I'm gonna need more. Good thing I have a couple of more bales, eh? Oh, dangerous. This bridge doesn't have a railing. Let's see if we can... Nope. Maybe stack these bales on top of each other and transport them at the same time. Kinda, I guess. But I'm not exactly sure if that's actually how this bale spike works. Or is supposed to work. I mean, it obviously works like this in-game. And I'm getting slight facehugger vibes with this thing. Oh, the feed is full. Perfect. Meh. Hello, you fluffy dogs. Right, time to get the last bale then. And yes, I'm sure if I had just unloaded the straw bales and used the autoloader, that would have been way faster than what I'm doing right now. See if I can. Nope. Right. This is most certainly not how this is supposed to work, but hello. Cute little dogs. Right, you know what? I need to pee anyway, but I don't think taking a break 20 minutes before I have to finish is anything useful. Yeah, I've been holding up for 40 minutes already. A burst bladder or a pissed pants. So yeah, let's head over to Panda. Oh. Yeah, don't worry, Australian. Don't worry. Yeah, you know it's all fine. I know you are having, you know, stuff on the side. But this time I'm actually remembering to actually put out the raid call. There you go. Come on, let me. Stop fighting me, god fucking damn it. There we go. Right, so yeah, thank you all for joining me. I'm really looking forward towards the eco playthrough. Keep an eye out once I have talked to Seth for a actual date. I will let you know. But yeah. Yeah, I think remember the Red Panda is family friendly, so no cussing and chat at this place, please. And I just seen he is having a stream anniversary, so it's only fair to join him. Right, so time is about to run out. Have a good one, and see you all on the other side. Have a good one. Bye bye.